Hello, my name is Megan, and today we will be doing the Mason Jar Luminary program. You should have picked up your materials by now, and that should include a mason jar, some paint, a sponge applicator, 10 rubber bands, and an LED candle light. Before we begin, please make sure you've set aside an area where you can work and where you are comfortable. From this point forward, I'm going to be tilting the screen downward so you can follow along with what I'm doing. The first thing you should notice is I have my mason jar upside down. The reason for this is because when we get to our painting step, we want the paint to run downward to give our glass a thorough coating. Our first step in making our luminary, to give it that cool striped effect, we will be taking our rubber bands and applying them onto our mason jar. And I recommend going as flat as possible just to have nice even lines. And you'll want to put them in random order, just so that way you have unusual patterns that are each unique to your mason jars. And you should have different sizes, different types of bandwidth. And some of you might have these really long ones. And for these, you can do something pretty cool, which is kind of spread them out a little more over the jar, give it a little more texture. Okay, so go ahead and finish that step, and then we'll move on to our next step. All right, once you've finished putting all of your rubber bands on your mason jar, you are ready to proceed to the next step, which is painting. Yay! Go ahead and take your white paint, and we'll go ahead and open it up. If your paint has dried out a little bit, for some reason, just add some water and it should still rehydrate. You might just have to mix it a bit. And then we're going to apply a generous coating of paint to our mason jar, going very carefully over the rubber bands, so that way they don't move. You don't want them to move too much, so that way it creates that lined effect that we're going for. So this will take a few coats, and you're going to want to use as much, if not all, of your paint as possible to get that nice solid effect that we're looking for in our final product. Go ahead and work on that for a few minutes, and as you work, your acrylic paint should dry. Once you're finished painting and your base is dried, go ahead and tip it upside down. And now that our paint has dried all the way, we are ready to begin the careful process of removing the rubber bands. So you're just going to peel them off slowly. And you might have a little bit of bleed over. We certainly did too, and that's okay, because it just gives it a more unique look. And as you peel, again, you want to go very slowly. You want to make sure it's even. And if you need to, you can use a toothpick or something to really define those parts that got bled into. Here we go. Oops. So we have that starting to form those nice little lines. So go ahead and work on peeling that very slowly, and then you'll see the lines through. And if you need to, grab a toothpick or a Q-tip, or just use your nail, because this is acrylic, so it's pretty responsive to just being scratched at. So I'll go ahead and give it another little scratch here. Ta-da! All right, so you should now have your dried and de-rubber banded mason jar here. And you should have your own unique set of stripes to give it that cool look. I like to think of it as like an aspen tree or a birch tree, but you can think of it however you want. That's just what I like. So now we're going to take our LED tea light. You might have a purple string in the back to pull out as they haven't been used. Assuming the purple light didn't pull out, we're going to turn that on. We're going to stick that inside. We now have our luminary glowing light and bright and bringing in that nice atmosphere. I hope you enjoyed this program today. And if this is something you'd like to repeat, the materials that you need are listed at the beginning of the video when I talked about what was in there. We got most of our products online, but you can also find these products at craft stores and other locations near you. Thank you again, and please like and subscribe to Pikes Peak Library District social media, YouTube, and check out our website for more upcoming programs. Thank you and have a great day.